we're basically showing about 650 films a year, different films a year. But I do want to explain something more. The films that we show are shown in our cinemas, which are considered to be galleries within the Museum of Modern Art. So if you come to the museum, you can see paintings, you can see sculpture, you can see photographs, you can see architectural drawings, and you can go to the cinema. It's all included in your admission to the museum. And if you're a member of the Museum of Modern Art, and we have about 140,000 members, you can see films free for the whole year because we are part of the museum. We're not separate. And we show films in a number of ways. We curate programs. I am one of several curators, the most senior, but I am one of several. We have a team, and we show different types of exhibitions. For instance, at the moment, we have organized a series of films by the French filmmaker Henri Georges Clouzot, and we work with various ministries in France and with various distributors in America and in France to put this exhibition together. We also have an exhibition of films that were produced by an organization called Global Lens, the Global Lens Initiative. And I think some people from the Global Lens are here. And Global Lens help fund and distribute films from developing countries. We also have various surveys, national surveys. For instance, I do new films from Canada, new films from Germany every year. I have my colleague who does new films from Brazil. And so we do these surveys as well. But most important, a very important program that we have is a program that we organize with our colleagues from Lincoln Center. And that's a film festival called New Directors, New Films that happens at the end of March and the beginning of April every year. We choose 25 films from around the world to show in New York. They get reviews, people speak about them, and we hope that they find distributors as well. Another exhibition that we have coming up in January, which would be of interest here, is an exhibition devoted to the films of Raj Kapoor. And we do have a particular fondness for Indian cinema because in 1954, there were a group of people from the museum who came to India to do an exhibition of Indian textiles, because we thought that Indian textiles there's some very modern aspects to Indian textiles, to their designs. And while they were here, someone heard about a young filmmaker from Calcutta who was just finishing his first film, and that was Satyajit Ray and Pather Panchali. But he did not have the money to finish the film. And so this group, called the International Council of the Museum, gave Rai $10,000, which was a lot more money than in 1954, to finish Pather Panchali. And the world premiere of that film was at the Museum of Modern Art. And that's something we're very proud of. And that's one of the films we have in our collection. We also have the ability to show films to students and scholars. So if anyone is doing serious research, they can come to the museum and make an appointment. It takes a month or so to see a film or to go through our papers. So we also have this educational aspect as well. Inputting, curating film programs, we decide whether we want to do a program that is just from our collection, just from our archive, or whether we want to work with other organizations, whether they're film distributors or other national film archives. We also have to make a choice between programs that are really contemporary and programs that are more classical. We have to decide whether we want to do thematic shows like the idea of utopia in cinema, or a monographic show like a film by a certain filmmaker. So all these things come into play. And we try to put together a year's worth of programming that has all this, this blend to it. The other interesting thing about moving images now is that our department went through several name changes. We began as the Department of Film, and as more and more young video makers made video, we became the Department of Film and Video. And then when video ceased kind of being, because now we don't really talk about video, we talk about electronic media and new media, we went from the Department of Film and Video to the Department of Film and Media. And then, when it was realized that there are many, many artists now who are working with both film and with new media to do installation work. In other words, to show their work not in the cinemas, not in a place like this, but in galleries, a new department was set up, and it was called the Department of Media. And now that department is called the Department of Media and Performance Art, and we're back to where we started as the Department of Film. So there's always these changes that are going on in the world of moving images.
So my question is regarding the rights.
A work for the collection. We acquire it with no rights other than being able to preserve it, to keep it, and to show it a few times a year forever, not just for 60 years. But we have no right to distribute the film, and we have no right to lend the film to anybody else. The rights are simply at the museum.
Will they be paying you for that, or you will pay for the filmmaker to acquire the film?
We have different kind of formula. There's certain filmmakers like Clint Eastwood or Martin Scorsese or the Coen brothers or Woody Allen who will give us their works. Or rather, let me say, they will have their studios give us their work. But of course, with independent and avant-garde filmmakers, they don't have much money. So we usually pay something like 3 times lab cost for a film to the filmmaker. So there is usually money for a work that we acquire. Now, and when we acquire a work, the curators have to go to a group called the trustees. These are the people who help support the museum. Because let me just step back. Our museum is a private institution. We receive no government money from either the Washington or New York City or New York State. It's all because of admission charges, membership charges, and the philanthropists who support the museum. So we have to go to the philanthropists to say, we would like to buy, a new film by Stan Brakhage or Kenneth Anger, and they have to approve, and then we're able to do that. We cannot just go out and buy a film without the funds.
If anyone is willing to get his movie archive, how to contact you, or they themselves want to get that?
I'm very easy to contact. I can give you my card later. It's Laurence_Kardish at MoMA.org. It's very, very easy. We're all open for yeah.
Before, I just want to make a small comment here, because as you explained that before you come to the next, it's related to what you asked, that's why. This is a private institution, and he explained the source of funding to you. The archival practice in India differs slightly in the sense that this is a Government of India institution. And usually from what he has described to you very vividly, the range of their activities, it's clear to everyone that it is not a profit-making organization. So it's in this sense of social wealth that it exists. So that's why filmmakers who realize the importance, as he said, give their films. So collection in archives is usually the very conditions on which the prints are received. Some prints are given, like you said, that there will be only so much of screening. That depends entirely between the relationship of the producer, of the person who has the rights in that. Some prints are given, I know, to the archives on the condition that they will be screened only on their campus. Some producers are liberal, they said that with their permission, somebody wants to make a film or a duplicate or take a kind of right, then, the producers give the permission, then the archives will do the needful for them. So these various terms and conditions under which, because there is a general consensus on how these bodies work for. They work for the social good. So it's on the trust that, and as I said, that it's, I think one should look at them as social wealth. That's how they, the films are given to them and the business is conducted.
I also just want to say that every museum in the state of New York is chartered or established as an educational institution, where that's the idea of museums. We're there to educate the public or the people who comes, but it's definitely a not-for-profit organization. In fact, our trustees have to help us with millions of dollars every year.
Mr. Kardish, you mentioned about disappearance of silent films, American silent films, about 50% of them. So in India also the case is same until we had our own archive. And I believe all over the world also many films have been already lost. So what do you see at such a situation? And how many world's films have your museum able to salvage or having its collection?
Well, one of the wonderful things about film archives, such as in Prudent, is that National Archives is that there are always discoveries being made there. And we are finding, for instance, that there's an archive in New Zealand, and the archive in New Zealand has discovered that many of the films that they have are American films. Now, it's very expensive to preserve and restore silent films, unfortunately. And so the New Zealand archive has come to the various archives in America and said, would you repatriate your films? We'll give you these films back. But you need to promise that you will preserve and restore them. They're nitrate copies. And the nitrate legacy is disappearing very, very, very quickly. But it is curious that films are still being discovered, like under people's beds and at various homes. We have just received a note that a projectionist who was about 95 years old in Connecticut had died, and his grandchildren